I'm Kathleen Murf+E, and I'm with Murf+E Unfiltered, Zero BS Biz Talk. I'm here with my co-host, Eliot Grossman. How are you, Eliot?
I'm doing great, Murf. How you doing?
I'm doing no complaints.
Fresh off of Nantucket. You had a good weekend?
I had a good weekend.
Awesome.
Sold some books, met some incredible women, got to meet Ellen Hildebrand, one of my favorite book authors, so it was great.
Mine too. Great.
Yeah,
good.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You had a lot of basketball going on. I know.
Well,
that.
I love Nantucket. It's one of my favorite spots on earth. So it's
Can't go
a
wrong
beautiful
there.
place. Yeah.
Can't go wrong there.
Let's jump in.
Well, speaking of nice places, today that is a good segue
Very
into
good.
what we're going to talk about today. So thank you for that. A
Yep.
nice softball layup.
Yeah,
or
layup.
follow-up.
Sure.
So today's show is nice isn't a four-letter word. Are you nice? And so I love when I was thinking about this particular topic because this is a topic that doesn't actually get written a lot about, surprisingly, especially in business.
Right.
And it's a critical component to people's success, whether they appreciate it or not. And a lot of people dismiss it because they think, oh, I can't be nice in business. I've got to be tough. I've got to be, fill in a thousand different adjectives to describe your behavior other than thinking that you need to be nice.
Sure.
And so it got me thinking about as a concept, and I thought, all right, I got to talk about this with Eliot. This is a good one to
Right.
tee up today. So I'm gonna toss a few questions out for you to think about, but one of the concepts is, why does nice get such a bad rap, especially in the professional world? Hold that thought for a second. And then think about in terms of the different types of management styles, and in fact, whether nice is actually a management style. And I think that it is, and we'll cover that in a little bit. So what are your thoughts in terms of those couple of questions?
Yeah, well, first of all, go back to your first question.
Yes.
Nice is a four-letter word. It's not a four-letter word. Quite honestly, people look at nice sometimes in the professional world as being a pushover, right? So my manager's so nice. It's so easy to be a pushover. Not necessarily the case.
Exactly.
It's very hard in your personal life when your regular disposition to just walk into the office and switch, right? 180 degrees.
Right.
So you're going to go from being nice to this mean or firm or nasty person. It's not who you are because your DNA doesn't allow you to do that.
That's right.
Right? You can't be that way.
Not as
and it doesn't work for people.
That's right.
I never managed with a firm, fist. You either get the job done or you don't. Results speak for themselves.
They really do. And so this question, have you ever been told that you're too nice or have people that you've worked with told you to your face that four-letter word?
Yeah, so I think it's a great question. The answer is yeah, but my response would always be, well, I don't know if I'm nice. I just want to get the job done. And if we can get it done quicker, faster, easier, and accomplish the results that we want to,
sure.
Well, if that means I'm nice, then I'm nice.
Then call me nice all day long.
I don't give a crap, right?
Exactly.
Would you rather me, and I used to say, I'm sorry to go, Murf, but you would rather me be an a-hole?
No.
And hold you and chain you to your desk or call you if I'm managing a team around the country?
Right.
And say, where are you? What are you doing? What are you doing? It's not the way I want to go through life. I don't want to be managed that way.
Right.
And it's just never worked for me.
Good.
What about you?
So I've always been classified as nice. As a matter of fact, there was this one software company that I worked at where people used to say to me, oh my gosh, I don't know how you do it every day. You are probably one of the nicest people in this organization. You're always pleasant. You're always easy to work with. You're always prepared. You're always in a good mood. How is it that you do this, even when we know that you're under so much stress and pressure to perform all the time, and that there certainly are times when things aren't going well, and you just maintain this composure of being just really sort of even keel and nice. And I'll say it's just who I am. I don't have to change my personality. It's just, as you were saying, it's in my DNA.
Yeah, because being genuine and being real with people.
That's right.
And understanding doesn't mean I'm nice. Not really. I think it just means I'm human.
That's right.
And taking the human aspect of life into the professional world is cool.
It is.
That's fine. It doesn't mean that we don't all were under stress. You and I, when we worked together, we'd go walk around the building. We've talked about that. When we were stressed, we'd go get a Diet Coke and walk around the building.
That's right.
To vent to each other.
That's right.
But we can still go in the building and smile. You don't have to be an
No.
a-hole all the time to get results.
No, and what's ironic is that this isn't something that's taught behaviorally.
It is not.
In school, especially not even in business school. And I'm on the board of advisors at the University of Maine for both the undergraduate and the graduate programs. And I'm going up there in a couple weeks. And this is something that I'm going to bring up to the dean of the business school and ask her, does she have any classes that even remotely touch upon this as a topic? Because as a behavior in terms of management style, it's something that's critically important. So whether they weave this into the context of what it is that they're going to be teaching, or maybe they offer some kind of adjunct course, or maybe like a small workshop to the side to augment what it is that they're teaching. Because I think it's so critically important for people to understand the different management styles. And yes, you're naturally going to gravitate perhaps to one style or another, but being nice is definitely one of the options.
Well, we're not robots.
No.
Right? We are not robots. And we all, I don't care if you, whatever management style you choose, Murph, or whatever style you choose to be in a professional workplace, everybody has a personal life. So we are not robots, and you can't program us one way or the other. So as you talked about, you either have it or you don't.
That's right.
And I've worked for different folks that didn't have it and felt that it was by the book, and I'm going to use my MBA, and this is what I learned in business school, and this is how it's going to be.
Textbook all the way.
Textbook all the way in management, and textbook. And it's not, it didn't work for me, and I don't think it worked for all the team. In sales, it's really hard because that's not normally who salespeople are.
Right.
We might stay up till midnight, get results the way we get results.
That's right.
When you feel like you're walking around on eggshells all the time, and you're being, and I guess that might be the micromanaged term, but when you feel like you're walking on eggshells because you don't want that mean boss or that nasty boss or that firm person to
Or
come down on
hypercritical.
you, or hypercritical, that's where you're not going to get the results you're looking for. They're not going to get the results you're looking for.
No. And speaking of results, I think the economics of being nice could be potentially underrated. So if you look at some of the statistics out there in terms of companies that are performing well, and you're seeing their numbers go up and to the right, which is where we want to see our numbers generally go, there has been research done by companies that have suggested, and with proven statistics, I don't have them off the top of my head right now, but I've done a lot of reading about this, to suggest that the evidence is clear that when your company treats its customers and when the management treats its employees well, the customers end up being a lot happier, the employees being a lot happier, so you've got retention of both customers and employees, and that generally means increased sales because they're much more willing to do business with you. And especially if you're in the service business, I mean, God help you if you're not nice, right? Or not easy to do business with.
I always laugh about that because we all go to restaurants or bars, you go out for drinks, and when the server, the bartender, whoever, the manager at the front, whoever is, when they smile and welcome you and the bartender has a different attitude, or your hostess or your server has a different attitude, I feel like it's genuine. And in return, so much easier to be nice in return because that's who we are.
Exactly.
When you don't smile and you're like, it's amazing. We have a place that we frequent in my town. I don't want to mention it, but I'm amazed I go because I like the people, not the people that work there.
Right, and it may not be the best food, it may not be the best drinks.
Correct, but I like the
price.
atmosphere and my friends that go there from the town, but I'm always amazed at how miserable the people are that work there. And eventually what we've seen is the business slowly kind of dissipate, right?
Sure.
It's going slower.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, what about you? We've all been in these situations. Do you have examples? And then
sure, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I was going to bring up something that really surprised me a couple weeks ago out of completely the blue, because this is, fast forward to today from probably, let's see, I'm just going to quickly do the math on this, probably about from 25 years ago, when I had this young man who was first working for me. He had never worked at another company before. apparently I had an incredible influence on him. And he took the time a couple of weeks ago to find me on social media, to reach out to me, to write a really long, nice, detailed account of why he was reaching out to me. And he said he was being reflective, looking back on his career. He had just made a career move. And he said, I just wanted to thank you because I don't think I ever really properly thanked you. And I want to let you know how much you influenced my future career decisions and how wonderful it was to work for you because you were so nice. You were so kind to me. You took a genuine interest in me doing well and teaching me the role that I was in, and you gave me a chance. And
So that's it. Let me just jump. That's it, though. He said you influenced him and you taught him.
I taught him, yes.
Not just because, oh, hey, Murf is a really nice person, because you are.
Thank you.
It's because you influenced him and you taught him to get results and to help with his job and to help grow him maybe personally, but certainly professionally.
That's right.
And it's possible by being nice. You don't have to be the a-hole.
No, you don't. And he went on to further say also that it was the foundational learnings that I provided him with that have allowed him to go in different directions that he never imagined himself going in.
Isn't that great?
It was so great to get that sort of acknowledgement.
So let me give you the flip side. I was in an industry, doesn't matter what, and my mom had passed, like a day, 2 days before, but I felt that I needed to be in the office. I went in the office that morning. The day after my mom had passed, the service was the next day. And my manager at the time said, let's go do your one-on-one. I said, I'm not ready to do a one-on-one right now. I'll be prepared early next week. This was like a Wednesday or a Thursday. I happened to swing by the office the next day. Said, are you ready? I said, I'm not. That is the type of stuff that influences you to go in a different direction. Right? That's that four-letter word.
That's right.
That we don't want to talk about.
That's right.
I can't mention it on camera with our millions of viewers.
Right.
But
true.
Isn't that? Have you been in that situation?
I have, and that demonstrates to me a pure lack of emotional intelligence, or what is referred to as
From a
EQ.
really smart person.
Well, it doesn't matter. They're independent, so
Right.
you can be really smart and not have any common sense or emotional intelligence.
Bingo. A in books,
So
F in life.
That's
type of thing?
exactly. So that's a perfect example of that. So I had a boss not that long ago who just loved to try to find errors and never recognized anything that you accomplished and did well.
Yep.
He never said, great job, of course it doesn't cost anything to do that,
Nope.
and it certainly is much more motivational, but he took every single opportunity to nitpick and find something that was wrong. And it really impacted not only myself, but other people on the team, just because he wasn't nice, and he wasn't nice about it, and he just took it to a place where it was completely unnecessary to go.
That's a power trip that tries to make somebody feel good about maybe they're not happy at home, maybe they're not happy personally, and I can go to work and take it out on somebody and be that a-hole that we talked about.
Right, and I chalk it up to them being incredibly insecure as well.
Right on.
And so
There's no winning in that.
that later on proved out to be exactly the case.
There you go.
So, and the hindsight and the 2020 vision, in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely came forward at some point, so I could tell that was the case.
Yep.
So we talked about economically how important it is for companies to treat their employees and their customers well. That's just one factor. Another factor is when you're nice to other people, your endorphin levels will go up. It's kind of like almost natural morphine, if you will, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's a great way to look at it.
you get that reciprocal behavior back, typically. So that's really an important thing to recognize and to be cognizant of. Another thing is that I think it's really important for people to model good behavior, nice behavior, decent management, being empathetic, showing the softer side of potentially a management style. And that all falls in line with, if you will, being nice. And it's critically important because, think of some examples potentially in your mind of people that have modeled being nice and who they were. They could have been the CEO of the company, they could have been the janitor of the company, they could have been somebody in middle management. It really didn't matter, right?
Right.
But those people are typically the people, in my mind, that stick out for me in terms of that make an impression. And I notice that behavior. I don't know about you, if you notice that.
Yeah, I try to forget and not deal with that negative behavior, that nasty, not understanding. And I think the word is understanding, right? And getting that behavior. But you're right, we gravitate, depending on which side of the fence you fall on, we tend to gravitate towards, isn't it easy to be nice? Right? It doesn't take much to smile.
I think
you know
so.
that saying, it's a lot easier to smile than it is to frown, right? Turn that frown upside down.
That's
all
right.
those stupid sayings. But it's true, it's easier to be nice. It doesn't mean that you're easy and I'm going to let you get a pass.
No.
It just means that we're human and nice and understanding and get that work-life balance type of situation.
This is true. And some other points that I think are critical to point out to people in case they're still not convinced with our arguments for nice management style is that it doesn't reduce your personal or your professional credibility.
Right on.
When you are classified as nice. And I think that some people may be afraid of that because, again, it's not taught in schools. So where would you understand that it is actually a good type of management style?
Right.
You know, for whatever reason, it gets a bad rap. But another thing is that people that are nice generally are more confident and strong in terms of their convictions and in terms of what it is that they would do for others in terms of, because of their confidence, they're going to probably be more apt to help you and to put you in a better place professionally.
Yeah, productivity goes up. There's a lot of things. We could sit here and talk for hours about the subject because when you sent it to me, I was excited. I said, that's a really good one, right? Nice isn't or doesn't have to be a four-letter word.
Right.
You never taught it. You never.
No.
And it's just, you know, it's who you are.
At home, you're taught to be nice, but you're not taught that when you go into the workplace that you should also carry that behavior into that world.
We were on a team together, and we've been in the past, and we've had separate ones. And I've been on teams that you don't have to. I've been on teams that, you know, the managers aren't necessarily nice that we're talking about.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that the teams are dysfunctional.
That's correct. There's a big difference.
Big difference.
That's right.
I've also been on teams that are extremely dysfunctional because of the top down and the management style that made them dysfunctional.
That's right.
And it made you talk about what you want to be and how you want to do it and why is that nice, not a four-letter word. It just takes me to a level of, as you talked about, humane, right? You know, the dean of the business school. Wouldn't it be an incredible, I don't know if it's a full semester class, but it sure would be a pretty cool class to teach over winter break for 2 to 4 weeks and be like, wow, this is something that you can bring into the business world that's real.
Well,
and it's almost, you know, tangible in a sense.
And it could be just offered simply as a workshop or come listen to this lecture and invite everybody from the business school to it. And it could be half an hour, it could be an hour, it could be recorded so you could play back it in case you weren't able to go.
Right.
I think it's that critically important
I would agree
to
with
put
you.
it out there. So I'm going to propose this to the University of Maine Business School to see if I can get this woven into part of their curriculum because I think it's that important. So another thing is that people want to interact with people that are nice.
Sure.
I mean, if you have the choice of interacting with, you know, as you refer to them as those people that are less desirable.
I said a-hole.
That's right.
But you won't say it, but that's fine. And I'm being nice. You know that's normally not my style.
I know. No. Well, yes, you can be. I know.
Okay.
I know that side of you. You've got that side of you that people would say, yes. You know, I've worked with Eliot because you know I know you more from work than anything else. But I would never have said that you were anything but nice.
Oh no, I'm not talking about nice. I'm talking about my language at times. That's
I
all. Yes,
I know.
yes,
no, I know.
yes.
I know
Anyway,
what you're talking about.
I don't want to take up time.
But it's just a lot easier to interact with people that are nice. And then there's no reason to be mean to others. I don't get it.
It's unbelievable.
I do not understand why people are jerks to others. I mean, they just. it's incomprehensible to me why people behave that way.
I just walked by one of the walls outside on my way to the restroom before we get started, and it talked about bullying.
Ah, okay.
Right, and bullying has been going on forever.
It
right?
has.
I remember growing up, my kids have dealt with it, everybody's dealt with it, and it's amazing. Be nice.
Be nice.
So anyway, right, you live by the golden rule. It's easy to smile, right? Disarm somebody with a smile.
Exactly, and unfortunately, with the cyber world that we live in, bullying has been taken to a whole new level.
Sure.
And so people are bullied not only personally but professionally.
Yeah, that's probably another episode,
Luckily,
right?
it probably is, but fortunately, I see a lot less tolerance for that. At least in the cyber world, you can shut down people, which is great. You can't necessarily turn them off
Right,
in the
right.
real world quite
Yeah,
as easily.
that's right.
But fortunately, you can do that in the cyber world.
Yeah.
So, in terms of people not thinking that being nice is an effective style, also, I want to go on the record for saying that I've seen that it's an incredibly effective style. And the reason why I'll say that is because just about everyone that I have had working with me on a team has told me they will follow me wherever I go. And I've had that happen. I've had numerous people work with me at multiple companies, which I think is a testament to the effectiveness of being nice as a management style. How about you?
Yeah, of course, and I think we've had that, right? Hey, if you take another position, I want to be on your team.
Yes.
I enjoyed working with you. I learned a little bit. I'm the first one to admit, and I've said this a million times, and this is who I am. I know I am the farthest from the smartest guy in the room.
You don't have to
Don't
be the
have to
smartest
be,
person.
right?
Yeah.
But what I am is human, and I'm understanding.
Yes.
And
That's
when
more
we work
important.
together, my team, and you were on the marketing side, I wasn't the smartest guy, and we worked in a building of really smart
Very
people.
smart people.
But you learn and you understand your style, and people say, "Hey, I'll go to work for him again." That's that compliment, that testament that makes you feel right and make you realize that's the right way to go.
Exactly. And I found that it personally has gotten more results for me. So not that I've tested the alternative, but I've seen other people in similar roles not behave and manage the way that I do. They're not getting the same results that I do. And I've had people ask me, how do you get the results that you do? And like you said, I treat people with kindness and a regard to an incredibly high level of respect. And I appreciate their talents, and I bring out the best in these people.
Sure.
That's critical. That's all part of being nice from my
Of course.
perspective.
So isn't that a great case study when you teach that workshop?
It absolutely is. I mean, there's no question about it. And then nice people do also earn respect. So it's not as if, contrary to what people might think, is that, oh, if you act nice, you're gonna diminish your level of respect. That's nonsense. That isn't the case.
Right.
And if somebody feels that way, I'll strongly go and debate them toe to toe any day, because I've seen just the opposite of that.
Think of all the people you've worked with in your career. I would venture to say, and I can say this, I'm still friendly
Yes.
with 90% of them.
Sure. Yes.
Social media has made it
Right.
easier,
Yes.
but I genuinely like them.
Right.
And I think the same, they like me.
That's right. Exactly.
And we worked well together.
We did, and I think it's important to maintain those relationships. It's easier to do so when you have a reputation that people appreciate and don't want to run away from. It's critical to maintain your reputation at a high level, and whatever effort that you put in to maintain that is going to be paying you back in spades and dividends beyond your wildest imagination. So. As we're sort of wrapping up here, any final thoughts in terms of nice not being a four-letter word?
Yeah, well, it's really a great four-letter word.
It is a good
Right, and I just said it just recently. Like, I was at last night. I was refereeing a high school game last night, and it was getting physical. And I said, "Hey guys, be nice.
Yes, I love it.
Just a basketball game.
Right.
We've been that way in the professional world too. Just be nice.
Just
It's
be
easier.
nice.
We're all human. We're going to make a million mistakes.
Exactly.
But let's work together to provide the best situation and environment for all of us. And that 4-letter word is not the one that begins with F.
That's right, exactly. So thank you for this wonderful show that we did today. Really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to having lots more shows ahead of us where we'll continue to bring you topics that are both provocative and fun at the same time and that you can learn from. So thanks for tuning in today, and we'll see you the next time. Thank you, Eliot.
Great job, Murf.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.